we're going to pick best story. And this isn't like the best news story. We have a category for that later on, like the biggest story of the year. This is literally the best story in a video game. The game that has the best prose. So, Matt, what's your pick for best story of 2017?
I got a bit of a rerun here because I picked What Remains of Edith Finch.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, we've already been through this, but the way the story unfolds and kind of how you slowly piece together the history of this family, what happened to all of them, why you're there, who you are, and how you got there, it all comes together incredibly well. And it does so without like being too obvious in the fact that it's imparting exposition to you. You sort of gather the pieces as you go. And it was a really satisfying. It's one of those stories, like the way they tell the story. It's satisfying to hear the story. If I was just to run down the plot points of this story to you, you would probably find it a pretty interesting story. But the way they present it to you and the way you're left to sort of figure a lot of it out on your own makes you feel really smart, and that's a fun thing.
Like that.
As an audience, audiences like to feel smart. So
yeah.
it all works together really well, and I highly recommend it.
Okay.
If you're a story-driven kind of gamer.
And I'm right there with you. My pick is exactly the same as the other category. My pick is Night in the Woods. As I said earlier, the writing in this game is actually absolutely incredible. The other thing I really like about this game's story is not only is the script good, but how they display the script in the game is really good. How they use different size fonts or all caps where the letters will shake.
Yeah, Edith Finch does that too. A lot of really inventive text work.
Yeah, and this game does it too. In fact, there's a boss fight in this game where you literally attack text. So, but again, the story, I think everybody kind of thinks, okay, this game's about this cat who comes back from college and gets used to living back in his hometown again. That's just the beginning. That's the setup for this game. This game starts to go way deep. And I think one thing I would say, too, about it is the first 2/3 of the game, there's a good mix between story and gameplay. And literally, the last third, the last act of the game is pretty much all plot. And there's all kinds of... I don't want to spoil too much, but there's some really controversial topics, like child abuse in this, and It's funny because, they use the cute cat and the animal characters to kind of soften the blow a little bit, but the way this game is written and how well developed all the characters are in this game, it doesn't matter. They could be lumps of rock and you would still care about what's happening to them. I mean, the writers of this game understand how important it is in a story-driven game to develop the characters that end up having multiple layers. And the funny part about it is most of these characters have like 2 animation routines. Like their mouth moves, or they have like one animation where they act excited, but it's just the writing and the way that they display the text that give all kinds of depth and texture to each one of the characters. So, best writing in my opinion of the year, hands down. I can't recommend this game highly enough. Everybody go buy it. Everybody go play it.